Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Riverwalk Talk. My name is Chip Harrington. I started the show a little while ago to kind of profile some different people, issues, and even some businesses. I've always found it interesting when a new business kind of hits the market. I'm always like, how did they come up with that concept? And then I'm kind of like, why did I think of that? Today I'm going to be talking to an individual that has been in business for most of his life, from what I know anyways, but it kind of came up with a new concept about vinyl records. So vinyl's making a real big comeback if you guys aren't familiar with it. When I was a kid, vinyl was the only choice we had. And a lot of those records are out there. So today we're going to talk to Bob Roccanti from Raspberry Records. How are you, Bob?
Great, Chip. How are you?
Good. I'm going to come over to you because we're going to get on the sidewalk right here, and we're going to walk around here. So you've seen the show?
Yes.
Yep. So we start here at the cul-de-sac. The country club's right over there. We're going to walk over to the clock tower. It's about 1.1 miles. It's a beautiful day. This is literally the first time I've had good weather since I started this show. Poor Karen Randall, the poor woman, almost got blown away. It was so windy that day when we were doing it. So let's start walking. So I was just, at the top of the show there, I was just saying, when there's a new business that comes out, and a new format, I'm just like, geez, how come I didn't think of that? The vinyl record store that you have over Raspberry Records over here, you got two locations now, right? One in Ludlow, one in East Long Meadow, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. How did you come up with that concept?
So, I've always been into music, especially vinyl. I think I got my first record player when I was maybe 10 years old.
Yeah.
And got naturally Beatles albums, things like that. So I read an article, I think it might have been in a Wall Street Journal, probably 5 years ago, and it was talking about how vinyl was making a little bit of a resurgence, and, between CDs had kind of transitioned over to Spotify, and and so everyone had all their music on their phones, and vinyl was making a resurgence. And some of the record stores who had sustained it were basically telling everyone that their numbers were the best they'd had in 20 years.
Wow.
And so I kind of was intrigued by that, and as I was getting closer to retiring, I talked it over with my wife Mary, and I told her, I said, geez, I'd love to open up a little shop and sell records and kind of see maybe make a couple of dollars, but more importantly, give me something to do.
Yeah, a little retirement gig.
Right. So I looked around. I wanted to keep it in Ludlow, and I came upon a building in Ludlow. I actually met Sandy. She's a parishioner at St. Elizabeth's with me, and I got talking with her, and somebody said, I think she's got a building available. So I talked to her. Apparently, it's 207 Windsor Street. Yep. Way back, it was a bike shop years ago. Okay. Probably before we were kids. Yep. And it's a nice little spot right across from Blue Water Sushi. Yeah. Talked with her and told her what I wanted to do, and she was all gung ho about it. And so I set a date and put a plan together, and we opened it kind of on a shoestring budget, but
what year was that?
That was 2022. Okay. May of 2022.
Yeah, I remember. I was there, and you had your grand opening.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, I stopped by. I think that was being used as a second time's a charm. They were doing that.
Yes.
For a little while. Hi guys, how are you? Yeah, they were there for a little while.
So we opened the store and didn't really know what to expect, but immediately I started seeing people coming in, and they were so happy that they had a place, other than, going up to Northampton to buy used records. So we started accumulating a lot of inventory, a lot of people. I was running ads in the register, basically saying we buy vinyl. Yep. So I was getting calls, probably 3 or 4 calls a day. Hi, I've got a collection of records in the basement. I'm wondering if you're interested.
Yeah, we all have that.
Right. So we started accumulating pretty good inventory, and from there, my next step was I was just working there like 5 hours a day and closing, and then got to the point where I had to hire somebody. So we started bringing on some part-time employees, and like I said, it really kind of took off. There was a buzz about vinyl.
Yeah, it's genius.
Yep, but not just vinyl, Chip. We sell cassettes, we sell CDs. We even sell 8 tracks, if you can.
Oh my God! I've got some 8 tracks. I got the Doobie Brothers in 8 track. I found it the other day.
Bring it down. I'll buy it off you.
I don't know if the actual track is any good. I'll bring it over. You can take a look at it. So so that's how you get your inventory. You kind of like estate sales. People were kind of just unloading it. And
estate sales, and then I hear from a lot of people. They'll say, "Hey Bob, my brother-in-law, He has, I think he's got a bunch of records in his basement. Let me reach out to him and find out. And it's all word of mouth. And,
Yeah.
Because I was hitting thrift stores way back, but because vinyl got so popular, all the thrift stores are kind of picked over. So if you go to a thrift store, the chances of finding any type of a gem, it's kind of probably slim.
Yeah, yeah. And then I want to talk about, kind of the music industry itself too, but then so 2022, that's only 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
And now you already have a second location.
Well, I love that East Longmeadow area.
Yep.
I just think its proximity to Connecticut is perfect. Enfield has 44,000 people. And of course, East Longmeadow is connected to Enfield. So it was a spot that opened up on Shaker Road. We, I thought long and hard, talked to my accountant, talked to my attorney.
Yeah.
Of course, they really didn't side with me because they didn't really think maybe it was the smartest move.
They thought you were kind of crazy for expanding?
A little bit. Yeah, my wife did, that's for sure. But we found a spot that's about 2.5 times the size of what I have in Ludlow, and it took off. It took off from the get-go. We're right next to Coffee Time Breakfast Diner, which has been there for 30 years and is packed every morning. So it's we're very close to the Rotary, the crazy Rotary.
Yeah, right.
In East Longmeadow. But
what kind of foot traffic do you get over there?
it's great. It's tremendous. I mean, we're getting new customers every day.
Yeah.
We're selling a lot of online. We have 2 online sites, so we sell online as well. So we can have a slow day, but then we
interesting.
We check the online, and we've sold X amount of records online, which is great.
That's so cool. So the name Raspberry Records, because when I was growing up, there was Strawberry Records.
Strawberries, yep.
Is this hey, what's up, Joe? Was this a pun on that, a play on that?
A little bit. There were 2 other chains that intrigued me. One was called Peaches. That was a big chain. There was another one called Coconuts. So my thought was strawberries, peaches, coconuts.
Yeah.
There was some thought behind when they named those. There was some thought behind it. Instead of just calling it Bob's Records.
Right.
Ludlow Sounds. I mean, it's just, I thought the name Raspberries resonated.
It does.
I had a graphic artist come up with a little design. I said, I'd like to use a raspberry, but kind of try to make them cool.
Yeah.
So she put sunglasses on them. She put a pair of headsets, and we had our custom logo.
Oh, that's so cool. Great. It's such a cool concept. I want to get more into the weeds on the music thing first, but you've been an entrepreneur. I met you, I think, when you were running Orchard Printing.
Yes, yep.
Back when I was running the football association, I would go there. You did all my
programs, and
all
stuff,
that stuff. So how did you get into being an entrepreneur?
So I did the printing. Let's see, 1984 to 2005. So what? 21 years.
Yep.
Kind of saw the writing on the wall with the internet really taking off, and then they put a Staples up on Boston Road. So I saw the things were getting a little tougher. Yeah. So I sold the business. Actually, sold it to Ludlow Printing, and I moved on. I took a job in the wireless phone industry for a major carrier. I did that for 16 years. So I retired and opened the store. But like I said, that last year of working, I had to work through COVID, and that was kind of tough because getting pushed about your numbers, and you got a pandemic on your hands. It was some extra stress that I probably didn't need. Yeah, I'm sure. Did you go to college? What's your background as far as education goes? I went to North Adams, went to Cathedral, and then I went to North Adams State, which is now Mass College of Liberal Arts, up in North Adams, and did some graduate work at UMass Eisenberg. But like I said, this has kind of always been a dream, and I can honestly say, Chip, that I've not had one day where I've come home and I've told my wife, oh, what a lousy day I had. Or, you're not going to believe what happened today. It's really a stress-free industry right now. And the biggest complaint I'll get is if somebody comes in and I don't have a Taylor Swift album or something like that. Yeah. So, is there such thing as an actual vinyl Taylor Swift? Probably not. Oh, there's tons of them. Yeah. Is there? Okay. Taylor Swift is part of the reason why vinyl is so popular, because of course her albums were setting records, and people that didn't have record players mainly younger folks.
Yeah.
They would get their parents to buy them a record player so they could buy the Taylor Swift albums. So
Yeah. Do you find, I haven't listened to a vinyl album in a while, but people who are really into vinyl say that the sound is it just has a different pop to it.
well, it's a deeper sound. I think it's a cleaner sound.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, I'm a little partial to it. I mean, CDs when they came out, they were fantastic. Okay, that was that was from cassette to CD, so there was a big change in the quality of the sound.
Yeah.
But vinyl, if the records are taken care of, there's nothing like it.
Yeah. I used to have a huge setup. I worked at Leachmer's way back in the day, and when I got my first paycheck, I was like, I'm going to get myself a killer stereo system. So I got the tuner, the tape deck, everything, and it was awesome. And then I literally just got rid of that last year.
Wow.
I had it forever.
Why'd you get rid of it?
I know. Well, it was sitting in my basement, and
Yeah.
the speakers weren't working, and so I know. But now that I'm talking to you, I'm kind of like, okay, well, I guess that's why.
Well, there's a lot of nostalgia behind it, Chip. A lot of people had certain albums. They'll come in my store and they'll say, they'll pick out an album. They'll say,
Yeah.
I had this album. I remember this album. I could tell you song by song. And so there's a lot of that. But I would say my customer base ranges from 10, 12-year-old kids that'll come in with their parents to 85-year-old folks, and all different types of music. The jazz will sell, the popular music, classic rock, hard rock.
Yeah.
Stuff that almost hurts your ears. And then you've got the newer stuff, Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, Noah Kahan.
Yep.
That's the newer stuff that people, they want it.
You're so in tune with what's going on. Do you find, I mean, again, this is your retirement gig, but are there times you're kind of like, I know you just said you have a really good day all the time, but there's, running a business is sometimes gets in the way of running your business. There's a lot of minutia behind the scenes. Do you ever kind of get back into that business world being like, oh, I got, taxes and
not really
employees?
I mean, they're doing the corporate taxes and all that stuff right now. So it's a little bit of extra time, put in on that stuff. But normally, no, there's really not much stress at all, because whatever doesn't get done the day before, there's really no deadlines, Chip. So if I'm going to price up 50 records, if I only get 10 done, well, the next day I'll do the other 40.
Okay.
So
how many employees you got?
Right now I've got 2 full-timers, Dave and Joanne, that are pretty much running East Longmeadow on their own.
Yeah.
Originally I was going to be going out there once a week. Right now I'm going out there probably once every 2
Dog's
weeks.
interrupting my show.
I know.
So
little puppy over there.
Yeah. So they are running the show over there, and I've got a couple of part-timers that'll come in to clean records and things like that.
Yeah.
But again, it's there's not a lot of heavy lifting at all, Chip. It's pricing things up and keeping the store clean.
Right. So I've been in your store. You also have old tape decks and old stereos and things like that. How are you coming across those? Same way?
When we look at record collections, a lot of times somebody will say, oh, by the way, I think we've got some stereo equipment. Would you be interested in that? So we'll look at that. I'm fortunate I've got 2 outstanding service gents who will take something if it's not working, get it going, or they'll say, look, Bob, it's not worth fixing, unless it's something that has tremendous value.
Yeah.
I have a receiver right now for sale for $1,000.
Okay.
It's a 1972 Marantz receiver. So something like that, I'd put a few $100 into it if I had to.
Okay.
But a lot of the receivers and turntables and speakers, if they can, fix them for $25, $50,
Right.
I'm very happy to resell them. And we generally sell that stuff with a 90-day warranty.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's impressive.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. So you have online sales and in-person sales. What's the breakdown ratio? You said online's pretty good too.
Yeah. Right now, I think for 2022, it was about a 75-25, meaning 75% walk-in.
Okay.
But that's a big growth opportunity, Chip, because the more things you put online available, I think I shipped out one day this week, I shipped out 5 packages all over the country.
Wow.
We're a little leery about shipping worldwide. I had a bad experience. We shipped something to Belgium and customer claims they never got it, and we had to do a tracking, and bottom line was I ended up losing
Oh.
the product. I had to give the money back. We lost the, had to pay for extra shipping. So I decided we were only going to sell
In America.
within the United States.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's.
But
But yeah, you're right. I mean, the potential growth is worldwide if you really want
Right.
to expand that way.
Right.
Are there a lot of Bob, record guys out there like you, like all around the country that are doing this?
there's a lot of independents. I mean, you got to remember, Chip, we're really competing against Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon is probably the largest seller of records right now.
Right.
You've got, Walmart sells records, Target sells records, but we're selling a lot of used records, refurbished records, cleaned records, and those stores they're not selling them like
guess.
that. So,
Yeah.
but we, there's a lot of growth out there. We've been very fortunate. I will say this about the other record store owners in the area. Everyone is nice. Everyone is polite. Nobody's bad-mouthing anybody.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a society where, somebody comes in and says, I went to this guy and I didn't like what he had. Nobody ever says, oh, I know what you mean. I heard bad stories.
Yeah.
Everyone is very good about,
Yeah.
and I think that's important.
Your own little community. Is there, what's like probably the most valuable asset out there right now for old vintage records? There's got to be a price list.
Yeah, well, there's certain records that are first pressed. Let's say, for instance, Sgt. Pepper's album came out, I think, in '67. If you can look at the etchings on the record. If you've got like a first edition one, it's going to be worth a heck of a lot more than one that was reprinted. Albums like that, I'll use Fleetwood Mac Rumors as an example. Those albums are so popular that they're pressed every single year.
Oh.
So you may have one that was from '77 when the album came out, or you might have one from 2007.
But you can distinguish, right?
You can, but you've got to do a lot of digging because the covers look the same.
Oh.
Sometimes the record looks the same, but records have little etchings on the, they call it the dead wax area. The area after the last song ends, there's a lot of inscriptions, and that's the only way you can really tell what year it was pressed.
Really? Wow.
But we've seen records, we've sold records. I sold a record online for $1,400,
Wow.
and it was an obscure record that nobody had heard of, but it was printed in very limited quantity, and that's what made it so special.
I was looking in my basement because I knew I was going to talk to you today. I was just like, I got an original, I think it's an original, Michael Jackson Thriller, but there must be a gazillion of those things out there.
Well, but it still has some pretty good value.
Yeah.
Did you take care of it, Chip?
Yeah, I'm telling you, the thing has been sitting in the same little holder since probably 1984, whenever I got it.
I think that's one of the top 5 selling albums of all time.
Oh, I would imagine. Yeah. I would imagine so. Do you find that you are overflowing with inventory? Do you have a storage area that you have to keep these things?
I have a large storage area in East Long Meadow, and I've got a pretty good storage area in Ludlow. I also have unfortunately used my basement in my house.
Mary must be happy about that.
Yeah, keep a lot of stuff over there too. But
yeah.
You have to keep records. You have to have them standing up. Can't stack them.
Yep.
And you also have to keep them certainly in a dry area.
Yeah.
You don't want to get them too cold.
Too much humidity or anything like that. Is it a not perishable product, but it's vinyl, so like you said, over time it could just deteriorate, I suppose, right?
I suppose, but luckily that hasn't happened with us.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about is we started selling T-shirts.
Okay.
Rock T-shirts. Kids are going crazy over these.
The old
things.
vintage style.
Next time you're walking around town or at Festa, you're going to see.
Hi guys, how are you?
You're going to see. You're going to see kids walking with, the Doors T-shirts, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin. They've gotten so popular.
Right. So. And they're obviously all remakes, right? They're not. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen those things. You can buy those online. I think I saw like an old Caldors or Bradley's or something like that shirt. So you got your storage, and you keep those there. As far as like tapes, 8-tracks, and cassettes, those must be more delicate because of the film that it's on.
The 8-tracks can really deteriorate over time, which they do. The cassettes, because remember cassettes, you'd have to use a pencil to get them.
Kids today don't understand the struggle with us with a pencil trying to get it back together.
So there's challenges with that, and then of course CDs are almost indestructible. You would literally have to fling that thing across asphalt to ruin it, or step on it. So those are pretty foolproof. But
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how many people are still listening to CDs. I do. I listen to them. I still have it in my car.
I don't know. You have a CD player in your car?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. I had all that stuff back in the day, but
Yeah.
now I just plug my phone in and bring up Spotify. I listen to a lot of podcasts now.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of music too. But you said that all genres of music are kind of really popular, but is there one over another that's really kind of seeing a new resurgence? I mean, you
Well,
mentioned Taylor Swift.
Classic rock is still number one. That would encompass the Beatles, the Stones, Led Zeppelin, the Doors,
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix, Fleetwood Mac. But then you've got like your heavy metal, which would be like Metallica and Ozzy Osbourne, Iron Maiden,
Yeah.
AC/DC. Those very, very popular. Then you've got jazz, which is really a broad genre. But so you've got smooth jazz, which is more modern. Then you've got your classic jazz, which would be like John Coltrane, Miles Davis.
Yeah.
That's really for the true jazz listener. So we've got everything like that. And
Yeah.
I did want to mention a couple of things, Chip. So I'm on the cultural council in town here.
Yep.
Got a tremendous group, really dedicated. So we run the concert series at the gazebo every Sunday night, and that's 6:30 to 8.
Yep.
And we've been putting together. We think we have the best schedule of concerts they've ever had this year. We're going to kick off, I think, on June 24th. And we're going to go straight into September. But we've got great bands coming. In fact, we put together a winter concert series. It actually starts this Saturday.
Oh.
We're going to have it at the First Church in Ludlow.
Oh, cool.
On Center Street.
Yep.
So this Saturday, next Saturday, and the last Saturday of March, free concerts. This one is at 2 p.m.
Inside the church?
This Saturday, inside the church,
Yeah,
right. So the
okay.
church is allowing us. And this weekend, I think we've got, not sure who's playing there, but we've got pretty good music there. But I can't emphasize enough the concerts at the gazebo on Sunday nights. We've had food trucks every concert. The bands have been outstanding. Just bring a lawn chair. What
Yeah.
better way to spend a Sunday night
Yeah.
in your own hometown with no drive to go home? So
Yeah, you guys have always, Cultural Council's been around for a long time, so you guys get, I think, a little bit of funding from the state to kind of
Yes,
kick
yep.
most towns have a cultural council of some sort.
Right.
And with our gazebo that we have here, it's in our historic district, right downtown, right across from the bridge. But yeah, you guys, I've driven by there even just, on patrol and I don't know, a few hundred people
Yep.
oftentimes that you get over there.
Yep, we're trying to get all mostly local bands. I know we got Lobsters from Mars are coming back
Okay.
this year. We've got
You've had Jimmy Maz there before.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're trying to bring in the local bands, and which really resonates well with the folks.
Yeah, local people. Yeah, that's really awesome. How many years you been doing that?
Just about a little over a year, and like I said, I'm so impressed with the leadership, the dedication, and the people that are really committed to this. This is just one committee the town has where, and I wanted to get involved with this because I wanted to do something for the town. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know everything about music, but I figured this would be good for me to, to help them kind of put the concert stuff together and support it. So
Yeah.
but I've loved it so far, Chip. I know you've been done so much for the town, and this is kind of my first venture into it, and
That's great.
I definitely want to do more.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. It's a good town. We have, our issues like any other town, but cultural council, boards like that really bring the town together and do some great work. So, next steps for you? Do you have a plan, or you just kind of coast and see how it
Well-
goes? What are you going to do?
Well, Chip,
Hey, puppy.
the crazy thing is there's 2 locations that I think would be perfect for record stores.
Yeah.
I don't have it in me to do it at this stage. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to. If somebody came to me and said, would you help me? I mean, I know 2 perfect spots where somebody would go in there and the stores would do well. But again, if I was 20 years younger, I'd probably be
Yeah.
all over it. But
What's the overhead? Obviously, you're buying and you got to pay your rent and
Yeah.
utilities.
Hey, well,
Let's
you
just
got-
stop here. We'll put
sure.
the clock behind us.
got your insurance. You've got, of course, utilities have been we want to get into that.
Yeah.
But it's just the day-to-day stuff with a business. It's the key, I think, with any business. You've owned your businesses.
Yeah.
Is your overhead. If you, I could find a better spot for a hell of a lot more money.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have a lot of pressure on me. The rents I have right now are very affordable, and I know that even if I have a tough week or a tough month, I'm not going to be in over my head. So that's the key. I'm trying to instill this in my workers as well, because eventually they'll probably take over.
Yeah.
So.
You think you're going to retire again someday? I mean, you're having too much fun right now. It sounds like.
My wife wants to travel some.
Yeah.
And we had a place in Florida, but we sold it because we kind of had a change of heart about being snowbirds down there.
Yeah.
We've got big dogs, and the condo we had down there, I think the biggest dog you could have was like 15 pounds.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think my dogs would make it.
Yeah.
so we're going to be in Ludlow for a long time, but we want to do some traveling.
Yeah.
Kind of with the store, I haven't been able to do as much.
You've earned it. Has your wife retired?
She did. She retired school teacher from Chicopee.
Let's get all these people's way over here.
Sure.
Get off the, standing in the middle of the sidewalk here, sorry. So you travel might be next. So you're going to do this for a few more years. You have ideas for, what if somebody out there is like, I'll be a partner with Bob. I can do this.
Give me a call.
Yeah, you're open to that stuff, huh?
Sure.
Oh, that's cool. Good.
You know, Chip, when I did this, I didn't know anything. I had a love of music, a little bit of business knowledge.
Yep.
And I just knew that if you have the product that people want, if you're nice to people, that's the key. I remember going into a record shop. I don't know where I was, Providence, Rhode Island, or someplace. I walked in and I said, "How you doing?" And the guy just looked at me and didn't even say anything. And
yeah.
It was like he had nice stuff. It was a good buying experience, but the guy had no personality.
Yeah.
And I said, you have to be nice to people. I don't care if they come in and don't buy anything. I make it a point. If you come into my store and you browse around and you don't buy, when you leave, I say, hey, have a great day. I'm not upset you didn't buy anything.
Yeah.
I've gone into many places without buying something.
Yeah.
So,
I like I said, when I first met you, when you had the print shop, we would talk about sports, high school sports, all sorts of things. So yeah, that's how we really became friends. You're just a very personable guy. What's on the top list of your favorite musicians, bands?
I lived in New York City for 5 years when I got out of college, so I really got into a lot of alternative music, like things like the Talking Heads, the Clash, Blondie, things like that. But it's kind of morphed over. I still love the Beatles. I think the Beatles were, started everything. The Beatles, the Stones, Zeppelin. I mean, we play. We're always playing music in the store. A lot of times I'll mix it up and I'll play anything. I'll play pop music. I'll play country, depending on how the mood is. And a lot of times, if customers are in the store, I'll say, "Hey, Chip, what do you want to hear?"
Yeah.
Really? Oh, you got any Rolling Stones? I'll throw it on and listen to it. But I've learned the only music I really not a big fan of, like I said, is that really death metal type grunge rock, and some of the hip hop, some of that the rap I don't really care for, but I've got a better appreciation of all types of music just from listening to it, and like I said, it's not my whole life. And once Ludlow Country Club opens, I'll be probably spending more time there than I am at the record store. So.
Here's a trivia question for you. Do you know what the first music video ever played on MTV was?
Yep, Video Killed the Radio Star.
By
is it the Buggles? The
Bugles. I think I've always said Bugles. I don't know. Maybe it's the Buggles. I'm not
Buggles,
sure.
Yeah.
But I know some of the useless trivia as well too. Yeah. And then I went to school with a kid named Mike Mushak. He was a year behind me. He's the guitar player in Stained.
Yep.
His parents are still in town. He's definitely bouncing around once in a while.
I'd love to see him in the store.
Yeah. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'll shoot him a message, let him know you'd love to have him stop by.
We have had live performances in my store. We've had Chuck Martin's. We've had Kenny DeSilva Kitchen Jam.
Yep.
We've had. I've even have at East Long Meadow. We have a record release party on the 28th of this month. There's an artist from New York City who's playing at University of New Hampshire, Durham on Thursday night. He's going to play at our store on Friday night on his way back to New York. Oh. So we really like to not too many record stores are having live music. And even though Ludlow's a small place, we still have them come in and play.
Oh, that's awesome.
Maybe get 25 people.
Yeah,
so
that's cool. Different. On a beautiful day like this, if you open the doors and draw people in that way.
Right.
That's awesome. Well, that's cool. Well, hey, thanks for taking some time and.
Sure.
With the resurgence of this, the clock tower that we got going over here, it's going to bring a lot more people down in this area, just people around town. So I'll put the link to your business in this video down below if you want to go check out Raspberry Records and see your collection. Maybe I'll even throw a couple pictures that you have on your social media. We'll include in this thing.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So thanks, Bob. It was great to see you. Good luck with everything, and And if anybody has any ideas for future shows, let me know. I do have a YouTube channel, mainly so I can just store all the content, because my phone can only take one show at a time, or else it gets too full. So go check out my YouTube channel. And I've also been recently putting some of my old Our Town Classic shows on. Recent one I just did was years ago in 2001 with Soupy Tulik. If you guys remember, if you knew Soupy, you definitely won't forget him for sure. But that one's up there now too. Yeah, he was such a great storyteller. When I watched that again, when I put it back up my channel, and I watched it twice because I was so enthralled with it, and I was there and I interviewed the guy, and I was just like, such great stories. So yeah, it's gonna do it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.